I could have been 10 or 11 because I remember. I remember Dad taking us to this place with the owner.
What was Charlotte's husband's name again? What was Charlotte's husband's name again?
Earl.
Earl. And they were Collie's friends.
And Collins followed us, or either that or we're up there. They knew how to get there. So we were sort of pals with them. Mom was sort of standoffish, if I remember right, because there was a lot of beer drinking. And she just can't see why you need to do that. And they were kind of, well, they weren't, that I remember, drunk or anything.
Some people just aren't used to seeing people drinking.
Right. And from a bottle, too. It's not very pleasant.
He wasn't used to that. So you all piled in a car?
Yeah. Not Collins's in the car. Well, yeah, we were in the Collins car. And Brown's came up first because I think they didn't really know how to get up to the mountain area. So, but we did. We got up there and found the cottage, and Mom said, we'd come up here for this. It's a log cabin open log cabin.
She didn't like what she saw.
No, and she had to start right in cleaning because it had spider webs. It was really, I helped
rustic,
her.
Huh?
Yeah, it was very rustic. Great big fireplace with a thing that swung back and forth. You could
one of those,
cook
like
in
a cauldron
there.
in the middle.
Yeah, she could put different pots over it. She wasn't used to that. Golly day.
Cook in a fireplace.
She probably got mad at Dad, and that made him pout the whole time.
I don't know. How long were you up there then? About a week?
I think it was about a week. But I think we'd been up there before. Seemed to me that there were a couple of times we went with them when they got a little older. I know Arnie was real tiny. And I have a picture of him standing with his little pop gun up with the clothesline. Collie had a clothesline for the wet clothes. And that's a cute picture. And he asked if I had it, and I said, yeah, and I'll give it to you.
Charlotte and Earl Brown, friends of the Collins. But they lived in the D.C. area, I guess.
Yeah, over by our church, St. Peter's at the time.
Okay.
Most of them lived over there that went to the church.
And they must have just had like a cabin up in New York. I know, that ham is tough.
It's too thick.
Yeah.
I think I'll take it off and eat it differently.
Okay, so it's near Three Fingers Lake?
Yeah. I knew the name of it at one time, but
upstairs. And that's New York.
But I've been to so many places, like the Mocks. They lived in a place that was a beautiful big house, but it was wood and normal build, and on the farm. And across the road, Route 1 is where they lived on. Route 1, Pennsylvania. Bedford, Pennsylvania.
That'd be fun to drive up there, because it's only about an hour away. Maybe
that's
an
what
hour
Mary
and a half.
said.
And just kind of check around and see if
that
we can find it.
Yeah.
Everything's different now.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
that's what I heard. They'd started building all kinds of stuff up there, but
I love the name Bedford.
I do too.
Because It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah, And that's, Arnie lives in Virginia, and they have a Bedford, Virginia.
It's so popular. So you, this one time that you went out there to row the boat, that you were about what, 10?
Maybe 10.
And so they let you use the boat by yourself.
But I had to beg. And I begged and drove them crazy. Dad says, no, you're not. You're too little, you're too young, you don't know anything about a boat. Where would you learn about a boat? In Washington, D.C. Gave me a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And then when I got him sort of coming down a little bit, he was going to test me to see what I could do. Okay, let's see what you can do with the boat. That boat was big, that rowboat.
Yeah, I saw the picture upstairs.
Yeah.
I could see it's probably, 12 feet long.
It was.
Something like our kayak.
Mm-hmm.
It's real long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was having trouble with the oars because they were heavy.
Yeah.
And they had that hook that goes down in the boat to hold the oars onto the boat. So I had to go through the man that had the boat. He was the one that was bickering with Dad.
What was he bickering about?
About how much it would cost. That they wanted to charge something. I don't remember how much, but it must have been a lot because Dad said, no, that's a bit too much.
He was going to rent it like for the whole week or something like that.
And they were going to go fishing in it. So the man said, this is a good boat. It's never had any problem. And you'd be happy to have it. And Dad says, well, she thinks she can go in it. She thinks she could, meaning me, that she can row it. And Mom says, don't let her. Don't let her. She was there on the corner, but giving her a talk to.
Yeah.
So Dad says, okay, let's see what you can do with the boat. And he was just be adorably happy if I fell in or something happened at that time.
He wanted you to fail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
I knew then that he did. So the first thing he said, you're going to go to the left. Let me see what you do if you had to go to the left. Well, I knew that. You just make one go one way and the other. He said, all right, let's see how you do on the right. And I did the same thing on the right. I don't know why I did that. I've never been in the boat, ever.
You probably never even saw anybody rowing one. That's amazing.
So it just came right out. Mom said it must have been the Scandinavian.
Exactly. They live
boats.
on the water. I can't imagine you not fighting, but trying to persuade your dad to...
I had to be careful. I would never be sassy or anything.
Yeah, right.
Or push him too far. Right. I knew probably how much to push him. And he was... so those two things helped pass it. Mm-hmm. He said, all right, we'll get the boat. And he said, you have a limit. You can only go this far unless Mom is with you. Mm-hmm. Because Mom used the boat, too, for us to go to that store.
So she knew how to row a boat?
Yeah, oh yeah, Mom was a good rower.
Well, that must have been where you got it.
Could have been, jeans. Yeah, in my jeans. Yeah.
And so you said earlier that you felt like you owned the boat.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I could go anywhere because I think they felt easier when they saw that we didn't fool around the boat. Right. Arnie sat there like this, little teeny kid, could not move him. You know, he was always like that, listened to me real good.
Oh, that's good. In the water, you got to be very careful.
And, well, the water was completely, it's for all kind of nature. There were snakes in it.
Yeah.
And I love those little what do they run around like?
Like a gecko.
Yeah, those little tiny things.
Lizard.
Lizards. Yeah. And I got a whole bucket full of them, took them up to the house, and I played with them and watched them run around.
Are they the kind that have the puffy?
Yeah. And their funny mouth.
Yeah.
Little tiny mouth. And somebody told me to feed them flies and feed them flies and some other.
Catch a fly.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to take it home, and they wouldn't let me do that.
Yeah.
And but I got to see them over in the water. Mm-hmm. Kind of scary, those things and snakes. I guess the snakes ate them.
Yeah, probably. Did I tell you I saw 2 snakes?
No.
Yeah, a couple nights ago I went home and I went for a walk, and I crossed over my yard to go to the street, and right there at the street was this little snake about that big, 6 inches long, curled up like that. And I just took a picture of it, and Rick showed you the picture, that's right.
Yes.
And I went around the block and came back, and there's a snake about 12 inches long.
So it's a family.
They're little baby. They're 2 different kinds of snakes.
Oh, wow.
So 2 families.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. Were they green or?
No, I'll show you a picture later, but back to rowing. So
yeah.
you got to row around and
Yeah.
get used to
The
it.
lady hired me. She gave me 10 cents.
Yeah, tell that story again.
Mm-hmm.
So this woman was shopping.
Yeah, and she saw me down on the wharf with Arnie, and we were playing or whatever we were doing at the time, and I was taking care of the boat very carefully. They didn't have motorboats that I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you didn't have crazy kids zooming all over the area. It was just quiet and peaceful. So she's
the song that's on.
Yeah, Over the Rainbow.
Yeah, you recognize it?
Uh-huh.
So she wanted to you to
She
take her
came
all
down
the
and
way
Mom
to the other
heard.
side.
Yeah, it was a long way.
Oh, that's amazing.
And Mom came to the door. She was watching everybody anyway. And the lady saw her and she said, "Do you think your daughter could row me over to the house over there? Because I've done something wrong. I bought too much and can't walk that far." And that would be easy to do.
Yeah.
I've done things like that.
Exactly.
Groceries. But so Mom said, "Sure, we can do that." And she was going to be in the boat too, Mom. So, but I wanted to row it, so she let me do that.
Okay.
And I think we got halfway across. I was so tired.
Oh,
Mom was there. The lady was there with her groceries.
it's
Arnie.
heavy then.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
But I knew if I gave up on it, I'd probably never get that chance again. So, break shoulders if you will, but here we go. Keep on. Good, Mom. I think Mom took one oar at one time. But we got the lady over to her house. She wanted us to come in. It looked like a haunted house.
Oh, God.
One of these tall, you know how people build next to waters.
Yeah.
Old
and
things.
Then things grow up around.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And it looks
Yeah.
spooky.
Wow. There's an old porch on the side.
Yeah.
So she stood out there waving as we turned around and went back home.
A little bit lighter load, but not much.
Right.
So
That's
you're
right.
Still puffing and puffing.
Yeah,
probably.
I did. Mom didn't quite understand how I knew that, and I don't understand it either. Tending a boat.
Yeah.
I think I've had enough. I'm going to put this in a little bag because it was so good
Okay.
and keep it for lunch maybe.